Good morning, it's Kim with Brightly Crafted. I wanted to show you this journal. I just started making these. I call it a waterfall journal. I know normally a waterfall insert for a journal would be like this, so that you could see the bottom of each picture and flip them up, but I chose to do it this way. This one is actually 5.5 by 8.5, the size of what a piece of folded paper would be. I just used regular paper, and because I figured that if I used anything like cardstock or anything, it would get too fat. I've got this elastic closure, and it just sticks on this brad here. And each page is collaged. There's not a whole lot of decoration because the collage is basically the decoration. I did do some hand stitching, no sewing machine stitching, but a little hand stitching throughout. So each page, front and back, you have writing spaces. You can add whatever you want to here. More stitching here. Here's a pocket that's actually a flip. A little journal card in there. I did put this tab on here and with an eyelet, and something could be hung from here, like something off a bulb pin or some whatever decorations you've got. There's more hand stitching here, a little bit of texture, Nuvo drops. The center here is just the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I used crochet thread that I had waxed for that. And there's just, very little other types of decoration because of the fact that there is so much with the collage going on. Here's another pocket with a handmade tag and just a little piece of ephemera there, and more sewing. So there's not a whole lot, but it's just beautiful, and you could write, use the different sections for writing, attach other pieces of paper. Here's a journal card that's held in by this little tag that I just stapled, or ticket that I stapled on here. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because I was going to do a little tutorial. It took me a minute to figure out how to get the actual size, the 5.5 by 8.5. I didn't really want to go bigger. I did make one before that was like 7 inches wide. I didn't really care for that. So what I did was I took 6 pieces of just regular paper, and you can see I kind of used up this paper for the example, but I cut each of these pieces of paper, not the 8.5, that's still 8.5 this way, but I cut them each to 7.75. And then with each page cut at 7.75, I went through and I scored them. You can see this one, I can't use this one really because this cardstock's not a very good quality cardstock, and every bit of the inside's cracked. So unless I put like a washi tape or something over this, I probably will not use these for anything other than my instructions here. But anyway, so you got 7.75 inches piece of paper, and then they're scored, and this one is scored at 3.25 inches in, and then you go down 3.25, 3.5, so it's a 1/4 inch each time you go to the left. This would be 3.25. This would be 3 inches. This one is scored at 2 3/4, and this one is scored at 2.5. Now you could add other papers if you wanted. I don't know if you really want your front page any smaller than this, because this one is quite literally 2.5 inches wide. I didn't really want to go any smaller. That's where I stopped. That's why it's just 6 pages to make the 5.5. So you score these, and then you just one by one put them together, and then when you fold them on the score lines, you end up with your waterfall. And I just went into the inside. I measured an inch down, and then right in the center, 8.5, so it's 4.25. So I made a hole at 4.25, 1 inch down, 1 inch down or up, and then just sewed it together. And then you can decorate it. But I did do the collage prior to actually sewing it together because it was a lot easier. Some of the pages I did put the collage a little bit over the gap in between. And on this one here, I put a piece of washi tape because I just used regular copy paper, you know, like just the regular white copy paper that you can get anywhere. I wanted to make sure that all the seams were going to be sturdy. This is just a portion of the page on the other side, so I did go over a few of the seams just for a little added security. Here's one that's actually over the seam, and then also washi tape down the middle. I usually do the washi tape in the middle when I'm sewing signatures together anyway, just because I like that little bit of extra security for the page so the thread doesn't pull through. But anyway, this is what I call a waterfall journal. And yeah, right here, this one other thing, I put this eyelet, here to hold my elastic. And because it did kind of gap over, I didn't want it making a crease in this page. I put one of those little hole reinforcement things, just folded it over that edge and used my hole punch to punch the hole so that slots right in there. That way this page isn't getting bent when you close it. And that's it. And I will try to get this linked in the comments down below. I'll try to get a picture of it down below so that you can have this for yourself if you would like to make one. And that's it. Thanks for watching.